is Hollywood blackmailing artists. Joe Rogan is one person who has been vocal about Hollywood's darker side, specifically about how it blacklists performers who refuse to keep up with its standards. So what did he expose about the dark side? Since 2021, the Joe Rogan Experience, a Spotify-exclusive podcast, has been the most listened to podcast on the streaming platform. He received criticism recently for remarking on Saturday's episode of his podcast that the idea that Jewish people are not interested in money is ridiculous. Rogan made the remark while defending Representative Ilhan Omar, who was removed from the House Foreign Affairs Committee last week for tweets she made in 2019 that were criticized for a similar anti-Semitic trope. She tweeted that the US-Israel relationship is all about the Benjamins. On his podcast, Rogan said that Omar should not have apologized for the statement, arguing her post was not anti-Semitic and that it's like saying Italians aren't into pizza. Rogan made the remark while speaking with guest Crystal Ball, a former MSNBC contributor who claimed Omar could have phrased her tweet differently, but agreed she should not have apologized. Rogan's statements provoked fury on Twitter, with Representative Richie Torres wrote that the premise that interest in money is uniquely Jewish is anti-Semitic garbage that should never be fed to an audience of millions. Some Twitter users criticized Spotify, with whom Rogan signed a $200 million agreement for exclusive rights to his show for platforming him. So basically, Joe Rogan is not afraid to speak his words. And there is enough evidence to take him seriously when he claims that Hollywood has a dark side of blackmailing actors and actresses, causing their downfall. Maybe Joe is not lying. Let's take the stories of some actors and see for ourselves. Sylvester Stallone is an excellent example. Despite his success in films such as Creed and its sequel, he did not appear in Creed 3, making it the first time in 47 years that a Rocky film did not feature the character. Stallone's absence was due to creative disputes with the sequel's direction and disagreements with franchise producer Irwin Winkler. Stallone's anger with the scenario caused him to express remorse for surrendering the rights to the Rocky series early in his career. Sylvester Stallone couldn't make peace with someone he thought was very nasty. He appeared in Creed and Creed 2 alongside Michael B. Jordan and received an Oscar nomination for Creed. But hey, he wasn't in Creed 3. Nobody knew where Rocky went in the film, and it was the first time he hadn't been in a Rocky film in quite some time. Stallone was dissatisfied with the direction of Creed 3 and he clashed with producer Irwin Winkler over it. Creed 3 turned out to be darker than the regular Rocky films, more of a terrifying thriller. Critics didn't enjoy it very much, so this is a sad situation. And by that time, poof, gone he was. Next would be Carl Weathers, best known for his portrayal of Apollo Creed. Encountered similar struggles in Hollywood, attempting to break free from parts that defined him. Despite his efforts to broaden his acting portfolio, he was limited by industry preconceptions. Carl Weathers' options for jobs narrowed as he aged. Hollywood favors younger actors for prominent roles, making it difficult for Weathers to find significant jobs. Furthermore, the movie business switched to various types of storylines and genres, which did not necessarily match Weathers' strength as an actor. Despite his previous legendary roles, he struggled to break out from the action hero stereotype and demonstrate his range as an actor. This resulted in less opportunities and a decline in his career compared to his early years in Hollywood. Oh, and Wesley Snipes, best known for his roles in films such as White Men Can't Jump and the Blade trilogy, had legal issues that wrecked his career. His involvement in a tax evasion case led to a 3-year prison sentence, underscoring the implications of financial mismanagement in Hollywood. The action movie star faced a tough time when he got into trouble with the law. He didn't pay his taxes and it got him in big trouble. He had to go to prison for 3 years. When he got out, he tried to get back into movies, but it was hard because people remembered what happened. Then there is Cat Williams, known for his outspoken and radical views, openly criticizing the entertainment industry's mechanics, notably his treatment of black actors. Cat Williams was once a prominent comedian known for his amusing jokes and lively performances. But things started to go wrong when he got into trouble with the law. He was detained many times for various reasons, including fighting with others and possessing drugs. This made him appear horrible in front of his fans and the entertainment industry. Not only that, but Cat began acting weirdly in public. He got into confrontations with other comedians and made some strange remarks during interviews. All of these disturbances made it difficult for him to book book comedy events and land roles in films and television shows. As a result, Kat's career suffered and he was no longer as successful as he had once been. He sort of faded from the spotlight, and people didn't hear much from him for a long time. Cat Williams has had a difficult time, but he is working to rebuild his career. Monique, the comedian and actress, experienced a major dip in her career following her Academy Award win for Best Supporting Actress in the 2009 film Precious. She spoke out against industry giants such as Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Tyler Perry, accusing them of blacklisting her after she refused to promote Precious without more cash. Monique said she was underpaid for the film and refused to participate in promotional efforts without appropriate compensation. Her public position created a divide between her and industry insiders, with many describing her as impossible to work with. Despite her talent and accomplishment, Monique failed to land major acting parts after the issue. She continued to speak out about what she saw as injustices. Monique's public feud with business titans, including Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Tyler Perry, exposed light on Hollywood's power of relationships and politics. She claimed to have been blackballed after refusing to promote the film Precious without adequate compensation, highlighting the difficulties experienced by actresses who speak out against unfair treatment. Then there was Charlie Sheen, whose turbulent personal life and unpredictable behavior contributed to his downfall in Hollywood. Charlie Sheen was once a big star in Hollywood. He was famous for his role on a TV show called 2.5 Men. But then things started to go wrong for him. He got into trouble with drugs and alcohol. He also got into fights and broke things. People started to worry about him. Charlie asked for more money to keep doing his TV show, but the people who made the show said no. They were worried about his behavior. Then, Charlie started saying bad things about the people who made the show. He called them names and said mean things about them. Eventually, the people who made the show had enough. They told Charlie he couldn't be on the show anymore. They said he was too hard to work with and they were worried about his health. After that, Charlie's career went downhill. He didn't get as many acting jobs as before. People didn't want to work with him because of his behavior. He went to rehab to try to get better, but it was still hard for him to find work. Nowadays, Charlie isn't in the spotlight as much as he used to be. He's trying to stay out of trouble and focus on his health. But his time as a big Hollywood star is mostly behind him. And how can we forget Russell Crowe? Russell Crowe's career in Hollywood has been a roller coaster ride. He became really famous for his roles in movies like Gladiator and A Beautiful Mind. But then things started to change. Russell had some troubles in his personal life, like getting into arguments and fights. These incidents got a lot of attention in the media, and some people started to see him differently. Also, his choice of movie roles became a bit unpredictable. Some of the movies he picked didn't do well at the box office, and critics didn't always like him. This made it harder for him to get leading roles in big movies. Instead of focusing on Hollywood, Russell started spending more time in Australia, where he's from. He began to focus on other interests like music and his family farm. This made some people wonder if he was losing interest in acting. Eventually, Russell even talked about the possibility of retiring from acting altogether. He said he might follow the example of older directors like Ridley Scott, who still work but at a slower pace. So, now you know why Joe Rogan thinks that Hollywood has powerful insiders at play to knock down the ones who don't favor them. Do you think this is true? Comment below and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more.